Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are currently playing Runelord Legacy, where we are playing through the Rise of the Runelords book, which was originally written in Pathfinder First Edition. But today we are playing it in Pathfinder Second Edition because newer is always better. And that is my life motto. I'll live by it, I'll die by it. But we had a crazy time last week, and today I'm super amped is going to be our final show for the season. So this is final show. My goal is to kill all my players, have them re-roll new characters for the next season. I mean, I that shouldn't have been said out loud. I apologize. But with that being said, I would love to introduce you with my current cast, with their current characters that are alive and healthy and are playing. And as always, we start the morning off right. We're talking with Dawn. How you doing this morning, Dawn?
Hey folks, I'm Dawn. I play Nexon, our gnome Stitch Witch. I've got my little hair forge mini here for good luck. And yeah, she is hoping that we can do something with Lucretia and not die.
Yes, I'm going to second that sentiment. The goal is to not die. I'm really rooting for my character, Rain. I'm Becca Godsey. Good morning, everyone.
Hi guys, I'm AJ Winters. I am playing Cecilia, the catfolk investigator of this group. I don't know how Cecilia is feeling because I wasn't here last week, but I'm excited for the recap.
And hi, I'm Ari and I'm playing Scarlett. And Scarlett is actually fairly confident that everything is going to go great because she managed to trap Lucretia with her bees. And so she's not really worried. She's just having a good time.
And g'day guys, my name's Michael, I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and I play the role of Malvolo, the human inventor, and his puppet Collodi. We have come so far and so perilously across this country, trying to climb up to this mountain where we are now dealing with, we are dealing with 3 hags, which we've technically dispatched, a woman who apparently, is a vampire that may or may not be able to exert psychic control over one of our party members, and some sort of crazed, grave knight lich ice swordsman thing, and my guy, he builds chairs for a living, I mean, Collodi's there, and he's been doing a good job, but like Malvolo's like, guys, like, maybe we need to reassess. Maybe we need to take a step back and go like, is this really where we want to be? Right this second, like underneath a rolling avalanche of giants and pain and misery and suffering. Fine. Fine, I guess I'll kill everyone. All right, there we go. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's do a quick recap so everyone knows we're all on the same page. So last week, the party had actually made their way to the top of the tower using stealth and cunning. They met some ogres who all had a specific rune written upon them, and enslavement enchantment that Rain has been dealing with since book 2. Well, Rain and Nexon and Marvolo. After dealing with them, they kind of came up, snuck past some other guard ogres, might or might not have ran on the back of a giant undead dragon. Who knows? We're not sure. It was underground. Got their way into the tunnel and started a fight with a few hags who were doing some kind of ritual near a sarcophagus, a stone sarcophagus. As the ritual kind of commenced, the sarcophagus opened. Out came Lucretia, the vampire queen that they've been dealing with this whole time. The party initiated with the hags. The hags put Rain in a giant cage made out of fingernails, which was really gross. And spells, magic, crossbow bolts being shot by Cecilia. Scarlet critically hitting Lucretia with her bee spell and kind of wrapping her up in bees, and she's forced and held there. And that is where we stopped. Oh no, actually, where we stopped was Marvolo channeling the frost druid, the frost dryad from the forest into Collodi, and Collodi shifting and changing into the dryad. which I did write down specifically with an asterisk next to it because things are happening in the good way. And now let's jump into it, shall we? As the combination between Nexon's magic, Rain's magic, and Marvolo's inscribing of these specific occult words pull the dryad from her home location into the body of Collodi. Collodi's wood starts to shift, shatter, and creak as his form takes a more effeminate form. And suddenly a jaunt in the reality changes and the weather drops. So it just becomes cold, freezing cold, to the point you see your breath. And, everyone's breathing very hard. It's been a long fight. And the floor around Collodi becomes brittle and ice. And a female voice calls out, Baden. And it comes out of Collodi's mouth. And Collodi, still Collodi face, but female form, lower torso, looks shocked. And it's not his voice. Baden, where am I? Why can't I see you? What is going on? As this female voice keeps calling out of Collodi, Collodi's fighting against the transformation, and you could tell he doesn't want it. Like something is going wrong, and part of his face starts to bend and creak and crack with each second of this forcing the spirit entity into his body. And Collodi looks at Marvolo, like makes eye contact with you now, turning to you, and you could see fear, like for the first time. Like most of the time, Collodi doesn't have a sense of fear. Collodi blows himself up for a living, and he looks at you, and you could actually see fear in his little robo eyes. And finally, the transformation is complete, and now a wisp of a female form is there. Frozen tears on her face as she is looking forward, and she looks over the field. She goes, This isn't my grove. Why have you brought me here? Where is Baden? Where is my love? And as she gets loud, she's starting to get louder and louder. And as it's getting, you could see she's getting angrier and angrier. It's getting colder and colder, and it starts to snow in here. Where is he? Why have you brought me here?
Rain will step up. Oh, my dear. And she'll extend her arm over to this creature that we've been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but this is where we found him. And I know we haven't beaten him really yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's just over there kind of snarling in his own undeadish form, but kind of doing a nice little reveal, stepping out of the view to show him. I think we need your help.
She looks over at Baden, or the skeletal creature, and she wails, No! What is he? What is this?
It's well, I'm sorry, we found him like this. That woman, totally placing the blame on Lucretia, right? Just now pointing her out.
Mm-hmm.
She's claimed him. We can't seem to get to him at all. He keeps attacking us.
Maybe you can get through to him.
Yes. Let me see. And she turns, and her form, wispy and ethereal, kind of shifts, and she lunges towards Baden, and Baden picks up his blade and slams it into her chest. As he does, you hear Lucretia laughing. And
Can Malvolo step in the way of the attack? Because I was right there next to Baden.
yeah, sure.
All right, so Malvolo will step in front and take the blade full brunt. Hopefully maybe with a medicine check, try not to have a vital organ kind of pierced. But he tries to basically hang on.
Sure. Make a medicine check. I'll use that. Let's see how good you are.
How good I am with medicine. Will Malvolo not die? Please don't die. 24.
So Marvolo jumps in between the blade as the dryad lunges for her love, and the blade kind of slams into the back of Marvolo. Marvolo twists and turns, and the edge of it kind of points out just slightly above his left pectoral. So it's coming out like the almost the top half underneath the collarbone. And this creature, this undead fiend, its eyes glow blue as Marvolo skin starts to turn a pale gray, and you could see the creature, its eyes are going bluer and bluer as it's pulling the life force out of Marvolo. As Marvolo kind of slumps down and the creature yanks its blade out of Marvolo's chest.
I want to try and prevent him from pulling it out.
Oh, like you're gonna hold on to it?
I'm going to try and use a craft check and attach my, because I've got a bandolier of like my tools and stuff over my chest. I want to basically do a wrap and basically nail the leather into the leather of the arm. So basically he's pulling me at the same time as as he's pulling his gauntlet back.
Got it.
I want to help. I want to help and keep the sword in too.
Okay. As the party rushes towards, as Scarlet rushes towards the side of Marvolo, and Marvolo is now using, like you could see he kind of like reaches up and grabs something and hooks it, and is just holding on to this like the edge of the blade. Scarlet, you rush up and you reach up and hold the gauntlet of this fell creature, and you're struggling with it, and it's pulling out. Nexon, you're struggling to keep this entity here, the dryad. You see your rope, and it's flaring with ethereal energies. As it's flaring, you're just holding your knots in place, trying to hold this creature in this plane of existence, as you did pull it from its grove, and it kind of wants to like go home. As this is happening, the dryad spirit moves forward, washing over Scarlet and Marvolo, and going to Baden, her love. And she puts up her hand and touches Baden's face. My love, why are you like this? In life, you were so full of joy, and now so much malice. Why? And he just snarls, and you could see he's draining the life force out of Marvolo. And a cackle comes from the back of the room as Lucretia, a wicked smile crosses her face, and she reaches underneath her beautiful emerald dress and pulls out a human heart, and it's still beating. And she starts to laugh louder and louder, looking at the group.
Can I shoot her in the face?
You may try to shoot her in the face. Actually,
It's an appropriate reaction.
Yeah, it's a very appropriate reaction. So you may fire off your crossbow at her, which is 100% feasible. If you would like to use one of your hero points, you could use a hero point or any of your magical Points given to you by chat.
I would like to use my nat 20
Your nat 20. Perfect.
to get her in the eye.
There you go. You level your crossbow up your shoulder. There's never been a more clearer moment in your entire life than this. You click, the bolt whizzes across, whipping past right over Rain's head. You know, the wind fluffs her hair a little bit. You thread the needle and it slams into Lucretia's eye, dropping the heart as she wails, and she's just holding this bolt and she's slamming into the wall of the bees that Scarlet had put up around her. She's slamming, and as she's holding, blood is spraying everywhere, blanketing the walls with this black ichor, with her hate-filled ichor. She turns to you, holding the bolt in her face, and now the visage is over. All her magics have come down, and she looks hideous, grotesque, hunched, almost skeletal-like. Her face elongated into like a bat maw, like a mummified bat face. Her ears are bigger, and she is in her true form of this vampiric energy. She hisses and finally breaks out of the bees and starts to crawl up the wall, trying to escape. The heart is throbbing on the floor.
How much do I roll
Nexon's gonna
damage, by the way? Sorry.
Oh, not a problem. Roll 4d8.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna ask Cecilia if that's her mom.
Of course you are. I'm rolling them individually.
Nexon's-
We didn't know how to do the. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Nexon's going to sprint to grab the heart, and as she does, kind of like whap Scarlet as she runs by. Just in that like, what are you thinking?
Like behind the head to the like.
Yeah.
21 points of damage.
Nexon, as you run past the group and you give Scarlet the old mom slap upside the head, you slide underneath this creature that is crawling on the ceiling, still with the bolt in its head, and you reach out and you grab the heart. And as you do, you can feel warmth and life and the human soul that is trapped within it. Picking it up, you have it in your hand, and you could feel, you're still holding your magic rope, and you could feel the two now kind of resonating with each other. They start to vibrate and shake.
I'm gonna run back to Baden, and I will spend a hero point if to do something cool, I think. So I'm gonna try and using like the rope, and I'll try casting restoration at the same time to like try and merge the heart back into Baden.
As you prepare your spell and you start to summon the energies from the restoration spell, trying to like plunge the heart back into this creature and give it life, Lucretia, up on the wall, finally yanks that bolt out of her eye and hisses at Scarlet and Cecilia. She kind of like makes eye contact with everyone, but obviously the two highest with the highest charismas get her attention because she's now ugly and they are very pretty. And she throws the bolt directly at you, Cecilia, and screeches and flies off the ceiling like a bat out of hell right at you. Cecilia, you could
fire again.
Yeah. So you reload, you fire again, firing directly at her, leveling it towards her chest.
I want to get the other eye, and I'd like to use a hero point.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, blind her right
I'd
from
like
the
to blind
beginning.
her. Yeah.
Leveling it with her other eye, you fire out this shot, roll 4d8 as it fires into her.
How do I pick up more than one D8?
You hold
Yeah,
the
you hold on left
Right
click and then
click.
you right click while you're holding it.
use all the buttons at once.
Okay,
There you go.
16.
16 points of damage.
Is she blind?
Yes, as you fire off this bolt and it slams into her face, into the other eye, knocking her from the sky, and she tumbles into the ground, right near Rain and Scarlet, kind of near the group at that point.
I'm gonna say, but aren't bats already blind?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you. I'm just gonna ask Malvolo if he's okay. Malvolo, are you holding up?
Malvolo is definitely passed out.
Oh, okay.
But now he's like tied to the.
Are you
Now-
okay?
It's there's blood on me.
It's like in a scary movie, you know, in the third
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
When they are you
Wake
okay?
up.
Yeah, wake up. Yeah, it's exactly it. No, Malvolo is a bit of a lightweight. He's definitely passed out from the both the pain, the life stealing, the fact that he's so close to something that is clearly filthy. You know, his mind is basically gone. Yeah, no, you need to switch off for now. But Collodi is still kind of floating, his consciousness floating in an ethereal space as he kind of is like watching from like behind the eyes of his own body as the spirit of the dryad is taking over.
Okay.
He's not having a good time.
Well, this sucks. You couldn't have left me a magazine. Zing.
I feel like you would hear that in the real world. Rain and Nexon. I don't know how to do this properly, but I would like both of you to roll your spell. So the Rain you cast with wisdom, Nexon you cast with intelligence. Please roll a wisdom and intelligence spell, like in your spell bar. It's like the plus to hit. Just roll that.
A
There you go.
17.
It's not as fun if you don't know what you're
I'm
doing.
I'm gonna use my hero point to reroll
Mhm.
that. Cause ouch.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
It's better. It's better.
Oh,
No.
you rolled a 1 and then a 2. Oh. How would you say,
better.
bless your heart?
yeah.
Bless your heart. Oh.
As Nexon is casting the spell to regenerate Baden, using the magic given by Rain and both Nexon, you know, using your forces together, as Rain has kind of taken full control over the magic energies of keeping the dryad in the body of Clody, and Rain's kind of like dropped off and has moved to focusing those energies, those similar energies, into the regeneration. Something goes a bit awry on Nexon's end, but Rain, you kind of like you let go very quickly. You see Nexon struggling with that spell, combining the energies again, and as that happens, the spirit kind of shifts out of Collodi's body, and it's actually floating there in the ether. And Baden, you feel the throbbing of his heart in your hand, Nexon. You feel it, and blood starts to actually pour out of this heart that was there. Bless you. And The rope coils around your hand, around the heart, and a bright light engulfs the room. There's a clatter on the floor as Marvolo's body kind of flops to the left, and the sword still in his chest, held tightly. Ari, you're holding the gauntlet of this man, and it suddenly becomes heavy in your hand as if nothing is fighting against you. And the bright light stops, and your eyes kind of come back into focus. And where there was once these two forms, there is now a crystalline tree. An image of what would have once been a man and a woman holding each other in an embrace of love is kind of the bark wrapped, and it grows and it branches. And at the very tip of one of the trees is a plinko berry slowly growing in a crystalline form. And you can feel, Rain and Nexon, you could feel that the spell did go a bit awry, but you did give them their final rest as they've reincarnated into this tree. As that happens, and you could actually see this tree's roots growing into the floor of this temple. And the temple itself starts to shake. And the fires that Kalodi had started only a few moments ago in the poo pit start to go out. Sorry, AJ, you missed that one last week. There was a pit. Yeah, there was a pit
Flaming
where they were
poo
putting waste and stuff, and Kalodi blew it up.
Naturally.
Also, what's a panko berry?
Plinko berry is a special fruit that our druidess Rain had started harvesting and growing, so it's special to her character. It's kind of like an apple, right? Like it's not
Apple
as
grape.
big. Yeah, like
Yeah.
an apple grape. Yeah.
But it tastes like a strawberry, and you have to eat it at the right color, or else
Yep.
it either poisons you or heals you.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That's a harken back from episode 1.
Yeah, it's like a hard like episode 1 pull.
Nice.
I'd like to yell, someone tie up the bitch.
Rain will snap back from looking at this beautiful chrysalis tree that has developed and see her in front, and hearing that command from Scarlet will try to jump her. Just seems like the right thing to do. I'm going to try to jump on top of her and hold her down with my body weight.
Just don't get her teeth near you. I'm gonna take out my whip and poignantly look at Scarlet whilst I use it. Like, you have one of these. And try and capture like a foot or an arm.
Yeah, you could like reach out, snap it around her arm, like the forearm area.
Yeah, just like holding her in place in case Rain loses.
Yeah. Any help is very nice.
I also call out, keep your face away from her teeth.
Oh, I'm gonna knock my head down, so chin to chest, so my horns kind of create a cage around her head.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
As Rain kind of like tumbles on top of this creature, and Cecilia, you've wrapped her arm up and you're holding her down. She's thrashing and screaming profanity that I'm going to avoid using, as we try to maintain a healthy love on this channel. And she's just screaming and thrashing and like is actually trying to headbutt Rain, as Rain's using her antler as like kind of like a head cage, and she's pulling from you, Cecilia. As she's doing all of that, Cecilia, you can feel the rune on your body kind of getting very warm.
Uh-huh.
And she looks up with those one bolt in her eye and the other hollow eye, and she stares at you and she starts to laugh, and you could feel as if she is looking directly at you, as if her eyes are piercing into you, and she starts to laugh, and she says, this whole time I had been looking to finally fulfill my goal, but it's you all along. You're here. This is the reason why.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yes, you won't know, but it's okay. My master knows, and he has plans for everyone here. And finally, you're all here, and now the time is right for my master. Do what you will with me. I'm fine. I'll just come back. You can't stop me.
Is there any way that we can put this creature in a small lock, an antechamber, a demi-plane? I'm unsure. Can we lock her somewhere that she can't come back? If she dies, she resurrects elsewhere, I am assuming.
There is this coffin right over there. If you manage to lock it with magic, maybe that could work.
It's true. That could work. That could work. Rain's still struggling to try to hold her down and starts even digging her horns, her antlers into the dirt to help stabilize it a little bit to create a small cage around her head. Just whatever you choose, do it quickly because I don't know how we can keep her off.
Is there a way to freeze her body and put her head in Collodi or something?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't mean to presume too much about this here, but you know, chopping off her head and sticking it in me ain't gonna keep this lady down. But there is something that I think we can do. You see, there's a big pit of flaming poo that's just down that way. I mean, she'll live.
Maybe we can decapitate her, put the head in the coffin and the body in the poo pit.
Sorry, Jared. I don't remember if this is the case. When because she emerged from the coffin, didn't she?
Yes.
Did she require help to get out of the coffin?
It looked like the witches you had just showed up as the witches had finally put the finishing touches on some form of ritual. So your best guess, offhand, they probably casted some kind of spell to resurrect her or to give her hit points in the coffin.
Okay. Can I make an occult check to know about vampires and their relationships with their coffin?
Sure. Collodi can. Passed out Marvolo cannot.
Okay.
Nexon was going. I was waiting for a chance. Nexon was going to go over and pull the sword out of Malvolo and try and revive him a little bit.
There you go.
Just help him out a little.
All right. As you grab onto the sword and pull it out, you know, how much damage did I take, by the way, from that? I don't like how long Jared takes to calculate high numbers. If it was low, I'd just hear it once, and I'd be fine.
You went from full life, and it did 50 points of damage to you.
50?
So yeah, it was draining you. It's a good thing they stopped it.
Oh my lord.
You were almost dead.
Yeah, I've got 7 hit points left. So there's that.
But you are alive.
I am alive. Oh boy. Malvolo awakens and he's like, "Oh, Nexon, it is you. Damn, they got you too." I was hoping that at least one of us would live.
Well, we're both alive. So But we're just trying to figure out what to do with Lucretia right about.
I'm just
No.
gonna be very emotional to see that Marvolo is okay, and I'm gonna say I'm so sorry for what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna give you a hug, Marvolo.
Oh, I am in too much pain to resist.
I'm so sorry. Okay, enough. I just
It's
you
okay.
really scared us.
I'm fine. I just. Oh. Okay. A Malvola sits up and takes in his surroundings, seeing what are the Dryad and the Knight doing at the moment?
They're the tree,
they've-
right?
They're a
Yeah,
tree.
they fused.
They're just kind of
into,
fused
like,
into this tree. So
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a static tree. Like I'm not looking at like a like these faces or like, so I can't tell that tree is them.
Not offhand. The everyone else knows, but like it
Okay.
wouldn't be faces, direct faces.
All right. Malvola will then make an occultism check, which is good because Kalodi's occultism is -4. 26.
To know on what to do with the tree or with the vampire lady.
With the vampire lady. So
Got it, yeah.
here's Michael's logic here using Michael knowledge. I believe that the way that it works is vampires are immortal so long as when you kill them, they basically turn gaseous, go into their coffin, and sort of resurrect, as it were. If, however, they are unable to escape that coffin, they are still trapped there forever. In addition, you can kill them through direct sunlight, or you can kill them by, sort of staking the heart and putting them into a catatonic state. All of these things are viable. So basically what I want to know is if we were to bury the coffin, she would be trapped in there and would have no way out unless someone exhumed the coffin.
That's exactly how it would work.
Okay.
She'd
So
be
that
stuck in there for
AJ
quite some time.
question with that though. Even though she's not resurrected, will she still be able to reach out mentally?
Good question.
If we stake her, put her in the coffin, she won't be
Then
able
she's
to.
catatonic. Yep, easy. Okay. I just wanted
Yeah.
to check that because I was like, putting her in the ground might not help if she can reach out to Cecilia still.
Oh yeah.
And the whole place is shaking, right?
Oh yeah, the temple's shaking.
The temple is aggressively vibrating at this point.
So yeah, I say we put her down there and then wait for it to blow out. Or maybe you use a little explodey colodi to make sure it's very good, but
Anyone
Right,
have
so-
a wooden stake then?
Rain will keep holding her down. Yeah, someone get a stake immediately. Anything. Heck, break
are
off one of the branches.
are those bones inside the small pit there?
Yeah, there are
Oh.
bones and such.
Okay,
Actually,
Because-
can I so Scarlet, just as a thing, I'm gonna send you a private message. I don't know. I mean, maybe you might think this is really cool. Maybe you don't. Well,
Ooh, or a private message.
Oh, what is going on here?
all right.
Well,
Marvolo and Scarlet sitting in a tree.
KISSING.
I mean, we got the tree, so we're halfway there.
Yeah, that's true. This is easy.
So as Marvolo and is trying to figure out like what to do and is kind of standing up, Nexon, you've come forward and you've kind of like yanked the sword out of Marvolo's shoulder, holding this blade, and there is a wicked malice coming from the blade itself.
Oh. Can I detect magic on the blade?
It's magical. It's magical.
All right.
There is almost like a malevolence to it, where it has some kind of how can I say this? There is definitely some kind of entity or possible energy in it that is also its own creature.
Nexon's gonna just kind of set down the sword and be like, This is a bad sword.
I like that. No, no.
It looks rather sharp to me. What's wrong with it?
There's just like maybe something's possessing the sword.
Oh, you mean a bad sword isn't actually evil? and it's not-
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we should bury it with the creature.
And
I
do
have
you
an idea.
access to a weapon.
Are there any markings on the sword?
As you kind of like turn it over, runes light up in a blue glow similar to the flame that this creature's sword would ignite into, and it is a life draining sword. So the sword itself has the ability to enhance or bestow the energy of life drain. And it does have a level of consciousness to it. Not like it can't talk to, it's not like a talking sword, but it definitely wants something, or it has a desire for life.
This definitely has One Ring vibes.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us particularly want a semi-conscious, life-draining sword.
Well, there is one of us who.
Somebody's got something.
Oh well, there is one of us who doesn't exactly possess life. I look over to Collodi, who technically doesn't have a soul. No, not technically, actually doesn't have a soul. I mean, we could see what happens if Collodi picks it up.
Maybe we stop having Collodi pick up things that could possibly, like possess him, because this has not turned out well in the past.
That's true. He is very prone to getting possessed for a doll. He is definitely haunted, I feel like. Is there like a condition like Collodi just has, like haunted doll? It's like, yes, no, there's, yeah.
I'd like to go up to the tree. I want to A, see if there's any branches that I could turn into a stake. But B, see if I can communicate with the tree in some way.
Sure. As you kind of like put your hands up on touch the tree, there's happiness and joy. And if you had taken any damage, because you're awesome with your crossbow, you didn't take any damage, you would have been healed completely. Because and there's love, like just emanating the tree. This is a good tree.
I'm really glad that you're together again. Is there any way that I can take you back to your grove rather than this wretched temple?
As you kind of reach out with your thoughts and your words, the branch kind of like shakes a little bit. The one with the plinko berry on it.
I pluck it.
And
I pocket the little berry. And I'll see if there's any other seeds or anything like that to take with me back to the grove.
That seems to be the only fruit.
The only thing is the berry. Okay, not a problem. And then I will apologize and take one of its branches.
Wait. Just before you do that, I'm just gonna join in and ask the tree if they'd be willing to, if it's okay if we can take a branch to keep Lucretia at bay as their own vengeance, their own revenge on her.
Oh, for vengeance from your goddess, which makes sense because your goddess likes not vengeance, but kind of like fair play.
She does like vengeance.
Yeah, right. So you kind of like reach up, and as Cecilia takes the fruit and is axing, you kind of like jump in, Scarlet, and you you throw your thoughts into this tree. And those of you who are looking at the tree, you do see it pulse with an energy that is, every time someone like puts their thoughts into it, it does pulse. So there is a glow and an actual light that glows in this tree. So it would be answering you, or you would know that this tree has life. As you do that, the tree kind of bends a branch in a fashion, and you can reach up and kind of pull off this crystalline shard from the tree. And now you have this stake made out of the tree and of this love.
So I'm gonna very graciously turn around to the other people and say, ta-da!
Rain still holding her down, watching you all do whatever you want this entire time while I'm just trying to keep her pinned. Could you hurry up and get her already?
Sorry, who wants to stab her? Should I?
Good
Yes.
job. You might need to sharpen it quickly. Here. I just want to like chunk off 4 sections to make a point on the end of the branch.
Yep.
And I'll go over.
Actually, Cecilia, I know I might regret that because I like stabbing now. I have learned, but I think you should be the one to do it because she went into your mind without your consent, and that was horrible. So I think you deserve that one.
Thank you. I walk straight up to her. I look her in her non-existent eyes, and I slowly plunge the stake into her.
Well, as the stake breaks the skin and slowly penetrates into this creature's chest, and you just slowly drive it down, it's thrashing and reaches up and grabs your arm, and as the stake kind of slams through, or not slams, but like finally gives way into this creature's chest, she convulses and holds your arm and looks at you, and with a wicked grin, her head falls back, her teeth still bare, and her arm flops to the side, and she stops moving. So Rain, you don't have to hold her down anymore.
Rain pulls her antlers out from the ground and kind of flops over to the side, kind of breathing heavy, sighing. Oh, thank God. I finally did it. She'll look over and see Lucretia pinned to the ground, stake through the heart. I'm glad you finally did that. She was a beast to hold down. She'll look at Cecilia. Are you feeling all right?
No. I don't feel any sort of satisfaction or completion or anything. I feel like this is just the beginning. That smile that she bore down on me with just screams madness and terror to come. I feel lost, if I'm honest. Thank you for holding her down.
Rain will flop back down on the ground, head hitting the ground very hard, actually. Well, honestly, it was the only thing we could do. But if you don't think this is it, she's going to close her eyes. They're just really tired from all of this. It feels like it's never ending.
And you have been doing it longer than I or Scarlett have been doing it at all.
I think it's no time to take rest. The whole thing is shaking. I say we get out of here and then take a good nap and hopefully you're back. You guys stink. No offense.
No, perfectly understandable. All right. Gather around, everyone. And Malvolo is
Nexon's
going
gonna-
to... oh, yeah.
Nexon's going to very quickly pat Malvolo on the
that's
back, and
tender.
I'm gonna cast soothe. So
Oh,
oh shoot.
oh, that feels nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nixon.
So it's 1d10. 4.
Is it just
Rain.
me that's injured? It's me, Kalodi. Oh, okay,
10.
and Rain's got some damage too. I was like, it is just
Yeah.
me. I've just had my ass whooped. I've taken 150 damage between me and Kalodi.
You're the weak one, sorry.
I'm a wizard. Why? Why is this a thing?
Rain, could you help me with the body? Let's get it into this coffin.
Right. Rain will drag herself up. Okay.
I'll
She'll
just
lift.
reach out with like a hand to your face, just in support. You've got this.
Thank you. Let's finish this one.
Yes.
She'll grab one side of Lucretia's body. Shall we drag her back to her bed?
Eternal slumber awaits, my dear.
As they put her in, I'd like to look at that tree once more. You touched this tree, right?
It's full of love.
That's a very strong emotion. One that's hard to break. She'll go up to the tree as well. I wonder if it would be so kind to be another layer of defense.
I'm sure it would. Ask. Also, maybe touch the tree. It might heal you.
That seems like a very handy thing to do. She will go ahead and place one hand leaning against the tree. I hate to ask one more. For you both have sacrificed so much, but perhaps in your love, that it might grow over the hatred that's been here. At your feet, can you stand guard?
As you reach out with your mind touching into this being, warmth comes over you, love, a kindness. Mechanically, all your hit points come back, but the most important thing is the answer. And the answer, there's still rumbling, but now under your feet, the entire ground shakes and vibrates, and everything starts to move as the branches wrap around the sarcophagus. These crystalline branches and roots wrap around the sarcophagus, dragging it underground and pulling it into the ground, kind of shaping a makeshift burial mound. As that happens, Cecilia, your rune burns into your flesh. It feels as if our fire is just erupting from it. And a voice bellows out that everyone can hear, echoing further back. And it calls the name, Lucretia. Where have you gone? And with that, we're going to take our 15-minute break. Everyone can use the bathroom. And I want to say
Super quick, just before we take our break here, we have had a couple of donations here, which I want to give a very special shout out to. First of all, from our dear friend McBluff, who has given a hero point to Nexon, Malvolo, and Rain. Thank you so much for that. And of course, to a old friend, new viewer for this show, Malikissa, who has come from our dear friends over at Infinite Black, who has given a jinx point to everyone. So, Jared, you are now in possession of 6 jinx points, which I've miscalculated, but I will give you that 6th one. There it is. 6 jinx points, which are literally anti-hero points. So you can use them to cancel out hero points, to flip things, do horrible stuff. But it is going to be absolutely amazing to see them in action. In addition, guys, we are only $12 away from our next boss battle. So there you go. We've got that to get ready for.
Thank you very much to everyone.
This is gonna be an epic final episode for this book. So do be sure to stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. In the meantime, feel free to chill out, hang out, ask questions in chat. The cast will be reading it during our break, and we'll be back very soon. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. So, right before we left, we were $12 shy of an epic boss battle, and the party was just about to enter in an epic boss battle. So, why not do both at the same time, right? Like, if we're here, let's just do it.
Didn't we get
with
the
that-
12 donated? The $12 was donated anonymously.
It was
Oh,
anonymously,
it was anonymously, but we found out it was Malikisa again, who has gone to give us the $12 for the boss battle. But I don't know if I missed it. I missed if she actually said what she was going to donate that for in particular. I think it was because I think she was 1 jinx point short of giving it to everyone, so I think she made that up. But in case she didn't, let me know.
Just see all those purple jinx points.
All those
underneath.
purple jinx points just going into a
scary.
boss battle. Like, I mean, okay.
I didn't do this. The audience want. This
I
is
wash my hands of this.
I can't control this. That's clearly the correct answer. So before we left, right, there was a massive booming voice that came from down a hallway, and down this hallway, you had just entombed Lucretia for the final time. This would have been what, the third time you guys tried, and the third and final time you finally put her down. Cecilia, your hand started glowing with the rune, that energized rune, and as that was going on, you heard that booming voice, and that is where we pick up the party hearing that voice calling for Lucretia. Where is his commander, or their commander? Confused, the party kind of looked around the room, and hearing the voice again call, you all turn around and you realize it's coming back from up the stairs.
Marvolo,
I have a
are you
feeling that's her
alright?
master.
Mm-hmm.
Judging by this, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god. Is that glowing for you?
And burning, yes. Why?
I checked mine. Is it glowing and burning?
It is also glowing, but not burning, not as bright as Cecilia's.
Malvolo has to take off his glove because his is on his palm. As he looks at it, he says, "Well, it looks like we're here again. Something here is calling, and it's calling to you this time." Cecilia, I'm not going to lie to you. Every time this has happened, one of our number has been gravely affected by the encounter that we had faced. In what seems like many, many, many years now, a dear friend of ours, a lizard folk gladiator by the name of Krut, accompanied us to the Wellsprings of Wrath. He was native to Zin Bakragan, the Kingdom of Wrath, and he too felt the burning sensation. Before a champion of the Goddess of Wrath turned her ire towards poor Krut, he was driven mad by his own rage and fought against us, and we were forced to take measures and seal him in the catacombs. As far as we know, he's still there now. But later on, as we continued this perilous journey to find the source of this weird anomaly that has taken us from our hell homes, we came across a large mansion fraught with the undead, fueled by the powers of an undead lich. And that is where our friend Cassandra felt the same glow and itch coming from her rune, the rune of gluttony and necromancy. She was cursed, and her body was slowly decaying like that of an undead. And ever since she was there, she continued, even accelerated in her decay. I don't know what's up ahead, but I thought you should at least know the fate of those who have gone through this. A fate that I think might await us all.
But we're learning from each one.
We'll make it through. I promise.
It's not the first time something drastic has happened. Surely not the last.
Well, that's the spirit.
I have you. We'll be fine. Marvolo, do you need healing before we face whatever this is?
No, I while you were putting
If
things,
not, go touch the tree. It will help.
I did touch the tree. I'm much
heal.
better, and Kalodi also did, and some of the tree's energy seemed to have gone into him as well. Looking at Kalodi, you can actually see that his wood is a little thicker and hardier, and this should hopefully help us with what is to come.
I look at my rune. Is it like bright and burning?
Yes.
All right. Let's do this.
I'm
Right.
gonna go towards Cecilia and say, me and my goddess are not gonna let anything happen to you. Otherwise, who else am I gonna bicker with?
Indeed.
You've got a deity and a beauty on your side.
That I do.
It's gonna be okay. So what now?
I guess we ascend the stairs and fight whatever awaits us.
Together.
Together.
The Roonies.
Two Roonies.
Should we like? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course.
Kalodi puts his hand in Malvolo, doesn't, but then Kalodi grabs Malvolo's hand and puts it on top.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Roonies!
Roonies!
I said that beforehand.
Go Roonies! Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so jazzed.
Right. Together. We can do this. We've got this.
Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, how bad could this be?
Right? Not bad at all.
you see Cecilia's fangs extend the full distance. Right. Let's do this.
Mhm.
As you all ascend the stairs and head around the corridors, you're actually taken back by what you see. As most of the corridor here has been made out of stone and wood, this seems to have been plowed out, like where the stairs would have gone. It just seems to have like been leveled, and it's kind of completely flat. Massive walls of this dug out area are to your left and to your right, flanking you. And as you walk, you can now see up on the walls. When you came in, there was that statue of that mummified entity. If you remember, it was a rune giant, and standing down this corridor up on these walls are more of those rune giants flanking you as you all walk in. But as on the first rune giant was that massive rune, the Sheridan, the 7-pointed star. Each one of these giants has one of those stars, as well as the enslavement rune carved into its forehead, and they all now glow with energy. Making your way in, you look around the room and you look up, and it's weird. It's all made out of stone, but there are like sconces that burn with light, and the sconces are made out of crystals, emeralds that cast a eerie green glow. You keep walking in and you realize as you walk on the ground and you look down, it was dug out, but it's also now made completely out of onyx. Massive stone onyx blocks. And this has become more ornate as you travel deeper and deeper into this area. As you keep going, finally, you're assaulted by a massive giant just standing, broad chest, made completely out of stone as if the walls are there. And at first, your eyes don't realize it. And you think, oh, it's just another one of those rune giants. No, this giant's alive. And it's holding this massive chain that digs deep into the ground. And behind that giant, standing on a massive throne with the pride symbol engraved into it, is a most ornate creature, a stone giant like no other that you've ever seen. Its eyes glow with that same malevolent emerald energy, and it sits on its throne looking, casting its hateful stare down at you puny mortals. As you enter the room, the creature's voice bellows, "Where is Lucretia?"
She's gone.
Gone how?
Gone as in we killed her. Permanently.
Impossible. Who are you to do such a thing?
We are the Roonies, motherfucker.
Taken aback by such a word, the creature stomps its foot, shaking the chamber. And it looks and says, "Who are you to speak to me like that? Do you not know who I am, of my greatness?"
Do you
No.
not know of ours? I pull down my sleeve to reveal the pride symbol.
As you do that, its eyes flare with energy, and it looks at you, Cecilia, and says, "Oh, I see why she was defeated. Her time was up. But I will break you just like I broke her, and you will be my new general."
In your dreams.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Says, "Oh, that's why I like you, Pride. You have such strong will, and I savor breaking that." And with that, he looks at the other stone giant and nods. And the other stone giant reaches down with the chain and starts to pull and drag and heave. And that causes the entire room to shake. And it looks like he's trying to unplug a bat drain. And starts one hand over the other hand, starts to pull and yank, and a hideous roar erupts as this massive, shiny, metallic tube erupts out of the ground, and then its head levels, and you realize its mouth opens, full of teeth, as this is a massive worm. Its maw opens, and it starts to snap. Its body seems to be made out of precious materials, gems and stones and such. And he looks, and he says, "Well, oh, that. It's time to feed my pet." And he points a massive stone figure at you, Cecilia, and he says, "Save her for me." Everyone, please roll initiative. Unless
Cool.
you feel like you could like diplomatize your way out of this one.
Highly unlikely.
So the giant stone worm isn't part of this. This is actually your boss battle.
Oh,
Oh, thanks. Thanks, chat, for the giant stone worm.
Thank you.
Chat's amazing. Thank you, chat. We love
Yay,
you.
Thank you, chat.
I'm just trying to imagine what I would initially think is being something very ugly, but now it's encrusted with jewels. It's also very lovely at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
is
Just
chat not
glimmers.
I've rolled within it and it's not coming up with what I've rolled.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not showing.
Okay,
Alright.
so yeah,
I have
it's
the same
it.
issue.
Yeah, there's a huge lag on Fantasy Grounds at the moment.
Awesome.
All right, I think it might be on Jared's end in terms of the bandwidth.
Totally my fault.
Just read them out loud.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is either until Fantasy Grounds catches up. If everyone's got real dice, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
As long as you can read your sheets, we'll go by honor system.
I trust you all.
I will need to go. Hold up.
Let's do this.
All right,
I'm
so
ready.
oh god.
I apologize. So the worst part is, Michael made from our sponsor, actually, Hero Forge, this awesome model, and he put that up, Barrel, the stone giant. And I trust you guys. You could just give me numbers. I'm doing this old school. I got a pen and paper.
I thought we were just showing off shiny click clacks. Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
we are
That's what I was
showing off shiny click clacks. I support that.
All right, so yeah, I got
Super
a
Saiyan now.
28.
28.
14, Scarlet, 14.
26 for Nexon.
Did you add your initiative on top of that?
No. So I can count 14 plus 15 for Scarlet.
So
Oh no,
you-
math,
29.
my mortal enemy. Everything just happened all at once, by the way.
Did
Oh, yeah.
did the track catch up?
Yeah, it all the dice just flew up on my screen all at once. I was like, oh.
Yeah, just make sure any of your background processes aren't chewing up your bandwidth for that.
Totally.
I got an 18 for mine. I did not roll well.
Becca had to collect a whole chest of dice.
It was in another room. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Becca comes in with her thug glasses on, and she just drops all these dice. Just, yo, what's up? Who wants to play some D&D?
Here we
got
go.
all of these dice.
Oh, guess what I ordered for myself for Christmas because I'm very shallow.
What?
It's literally the official D&D Mimic dice box. And it's actually got like the... It's like a cool plastic one. And it's got like a tongue inside that like nestles like a set of 7 dice. I'm like, yay.
Nice.
What?
It looks
Could you
amazing.
share? Could you share a picture?
Yes.
I actually think we are all up and running again.
Oh, cool.
If anyone wants to press the doodly doos, you let me know. But I feel like things are moving better.
Do you want us to re-roll initiative so that it?
No, Scarlet had a 26. Nexon had Scarlet had a 28. Nexon had a 26. Marvolo had a 28. And Cecilia, you were the only
No,
one
no.
I missed.
No, Marvel had an
I
18.
I had a 28.
There you go. That was it.
Yeah.
18 and 28. I had them down, so.
And Scarlet had a 29.
Oh, Scarlet had 15 plus 14. Yep, you're right.
You can use mine from fantasy since it looks like it popped up.
Yeah, it did.
That was
Rain's
fine.
taking the initiative.
All right, here is the...
Sorry about that.
Here is the Mimic box, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That's the
Very
actual...
cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
So
what
fancy.
it looks like when you open it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna call this out now. I know my group I play with is in chat, so I'm just gonna say if you guys want to live in the next encounter, Christmas gifts.
It's very cool. It's very cool. It's
Live until the next encounter. Is that what you just threatened?
yeah.
Yep.
It's on pre-order till the 31st of December. So I've pre-ordered mine. It looks like it only holds 7. Like honestly, like looking at the photos, like it doesn't look like it actually holds that many. Like maybe if you like squeezed them in, you could fit like 2 extra D6, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
Compact. It's a
Mm.
baby mimic.
Tiny mimic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, baby mimic.
But that's okay. I mean, I just love it because I think it'd be cool to walk around with it.
Very.
Yeah, I support that. But I apologize because I know it is very late for Michael and AJ right now. So let's jump into it. Rain, you have the initiative. Please, what would you like to do? This creature has now said it's basically going to enslave Cecilia using the enslavement runes. What would you like to do?
Oh God, I don't know. You know what? Let's come out. Let's come out of this in a big way, because that seems like the smartest thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and cast Weapon Storm.
Ooh.
Just seeing how big everything is, and that this is probably not going to be easy for us, considering that Lucretia hurt me pretty bad in that little last encounter. And I'd like to go ahead and just multiply my weapon and use that as a means to deal a flurry of damage to those in front of me. So it will be a 30-foot cone in front.
What?
Well, I'm hoping I'll get a couple in this little space.
Just a little. Just hope.
Just a little. So that's what happens when you summon a giant worm.
Oh, Wormy, no, not like this.
Wormy, that's the name you gave it?
Wormy.
Okay, well, Wormy.
Boss battle.
That's
Boss
your own
battle.
fault. You named it Wormy. Okay, so that will probably be the two in front of me, so they will need to make a reflex saving throw.
My pride worm says no.
No damage on the worm, but maybe the other.
And he fails, yeah.
Failure! Perfect. Okay, a failure will take full damage then.
Yes.
Thank goodness something happens here. Well, that's pretty good damage.
Hmm.
This is pretty good. 31 points of damage.
Wow.
The sickle that Rain holds in her hand begins to duplicate, and slicing through, the worm dances and misses all of those blades coming towards it, but obscuring its view, it then hits the being behind, taking scrape after scrape, not being able to dodge it. Yes, 31 points.
That's a lot. Next up, Scarlet, what would you like to do? Seeing Rain just unleash a hailstorm of freaking just sights. Just it's crazy. I love it.
I'm gonna use Bee Sting on Eau de Death.
Nice.
That's his name, right?
Yes, that's his name actually.
So I can just do that manually, right? No.
Yeah, you could move up and sting him. Use your spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes. Firing the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like-
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you fire. You reach up. You summon that energy. You fire those bees out of your hand and roll your 2-hit. Let's see what happens.
So I have to roll in the hits.
In the spells. Where is it? What is it? There it is. Okay. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
There it goes. So it did save, but that's okay. It still takes damage as you fire a sting off. So it's a single bee kind of like flies up and stings him like right in the ear, and his ear starts to swell a little bit. He's like, my ear.
That works for me. And so I still have 1 or 2 moves.
You still have 2 more moves.
I like to use Chilling Darkness.
Okay.
Same on my boy Eau de Death.
Oh, not like this.
And could I use a hero point in that? So I would use that like as a natural 20. or reroll?
Oh no, you need a nat 20 for a nat 20. But you can but you could apply other things to it potentially. Like if you had a like you can petition the GM for some extra flavor.
Okay, then I'm gonna use that.
You want extra flavor? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to use any of my hero points because of the jinx stuff.
So you do hit. You fire it off, and the cold starts to erupt around this creature. Dealing a butt ton of damage. And what would you like to have happen if you're using that hero point?
I would like. Oh no, I have had a terrible idea. So he's really, really cold, right?
Very cold, yes.
I would like his how do you say in English? His mandibles to shrink up so bad that they go back into his groin, and he's paralyzed from that. Like he's like, huh! And yeah, and he has to fall on his knees from the pain.
Oh, so you want to drop him prone? There you go. All right, so it freezes,
By freezing
causes.
his balls.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
by
is freezing his balls. There you go. Causing him to have an unnatural frost upon him. He doubles over in pain and drops to one knee, frozen, and you will knock him prone. So that's a solid thing. He is prone.
All right.
Next up is, so that's your two actions. You fired your bees and you froze him up, and he's like, my stone stuff. And sorry,
Stones.
my stones
My stones.
It just doubles over.
just doubles over in pain.
They're
As he,
pebbles.
my pebbles.
There's certainly pebbles now.
Oh, bum. This is the best. My lord Barl goes, and this is the moment I've been waiting for, and I'm going to activate my pride ability. The ability I've been waiting for, and I'm going to activate my pride. And on my
sorry.
pride,
Sorry, wait, don't you mean your gluttony ability?
my gluttony, and he's going to activate it, and he is going to start to eat stones and rocks, and as he does, armor starts to appear upon his body, making him harder, faster, and stronger. And I'm gonna give him temporary hit points with my magical ability. So he reaches down and starts to pull up huge chunks of that rock that's all around him, the obsidian rocks, and obsidian armor starts to grow upon his body, making him harder to hit. So he's going to gain some temporary hit points. He's just going to gain, let me roll. $17 temporary hit points on that one. As he does that, he also makes difficult terrain around himself. So running up onto his area will take double movement.
Cool. Yep. No
Fair
worries.
enough. Yeah, not a problem at all.
Yay.
And now my lovely pride worm. Oh, pride worm, I'm so proud of you.
Pride worm?
Pride worm. Yes, that is the giant wormy, the creature standing.
It is definitely a queen, just so that we can be clear on that.
It's this massive worm with the shiny carapace. Upon closer inspection, you can see its body is covered with armor and weapons and shields of hundreds of fallen soldiers. That's what made it so shiny. As it shakes its body, you can just see the segmented parts just kind of shimmering and shaking. And on its head and its worm body, its single eye stalks the group, and it sees Cecilia, and you could just see it kind of like a knowledge kind of goes over it, and it's gonna kind of, you know, go underground because it can do that. So it's gonna spend its movement to dive under the ground and tunnel and appear right next to my good friend Cecilia. And as it erupts out of the ground, causing stone to fly every which way, it's gonna try and bite you.
Okay. Can I see a slave rune on this thing?
You do notice that the collar around it has that rune on it.
Perfect.
Because remember,
Okay.
the big guy was pulling it.
Yeah.
That's gonna hit, and it's gonna reach out and it's gonna bite into you. Noms. Dealing a lot of damage. So it's 2 actions to do that, and it's going to roar at the group. Nexon, what would you like to do?
Right. Next it's gonna run. I think up to right next to Rain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just gonna pull out some one of her little tokens and spin it around, and it kind of makes this like kaleidoscope looking thing as it's spinning. Just say, oh, all right, I think things are gonna get a little cattywampus for you, and I'm going to cast synesthesia on Adulduth. So let's see if he saves. Okay, so that was a save. So for 1 round, all of the like vision, scent, smell, all of that gets kind of like cross-wired.
Oh.
So there's a whole bunch of
Internal.
it can't. All creatures and objects are concealed from it. It is clumsy 3,
Oh my goodness.
and if it tries to do a concentrate action, it has to make a check.
Oh my goodness. So it's not having a good day as this magic kind of reaches out and just jumbles all the senses in this creature's head all at once, which I love. Oh, that's so terrible. That kind of ruins my next turn with him. Thank you, Nexon.
Yeah, so it's the next round, and that is my
Well,
turn.
to also remind Jared that he does have 6 jinx points, which allow him rerolls.
I do. I know I do. But it's early in the round. It's early in this game.
Okay.
Oh no.
Great.
He has clumsy 3. Jeez Louise. One.
Hey, at least he saved. If he didn't, it would have been for a minute.
Oh my goodness. It is his go, and he is confused and clumsy by what is happening and not sure how to handle everything. You know, the wires are misfiring, and he is still holding on to that chain. As it goes around, the chain does reach into the ground and rip up more and more of this temple. He's going to drop the chain and let the creature go. He doesn't know what exactly is happening. With that, he is also going to pick up a rock and hurl it just in a general direction. He's not sure which way because he's, you know, kind of off balance, and he picks up some of the rubble around him and just throws it in your general direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to roll a d4 to see which way it goes. 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, it flies into the corner, slamming into the wall. And you know, you ever see where those people, I don't know if they have this in Australia, but people will drink and then spin on a baseball bat and try to to play baseball. That's kind of what you're bearing witness to. This guy is just left and right and upside down and all over. He is on the struggle bus right now. And he is going to take 2 steps back, and he bumps into the cavernous, like, because there is the area you're in is dug out. And he bumps in and kind of like stumbles around. And that's going to waste his turn. Cecilia, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take out my crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fire my first one into the, I was going to say urethra, the eye of the worm thing.
The eye, okay.
And then I'm going to continue either shooting that or the next one if I do well with this.
Sure.
Oof. No. Can I use a hero point to reroll?
Yeah.
You may. That will hit.
Okay.
Oh,
12.
not like this.
I'm gonna fire again
Mm-hmm.
into its eye. A
Sadly, as you-
26 is?
It's a big worm.
Okay. And then with my last shot, I'm gonna fire again at that creature because I think I'm too far away from the other two.
Yes, he's just slightly. The guy on the barrel is slightly on. He's like raised up a little higher than everyone else.
Yeah. Oof. Critical miss, which I believe gets me a card.
Yes.
Unless you want to use a hero point to reroll it.
Now I've got 2 left. I'm going to save them for the big dude.
All right.
Or to out Jinx Jared.
Yeah, those jinxes are so terrifying. All right. Pick a number between 1 and 5, and we'll find out what our critical fumble is as Cecilia launches her crossbow.
4, please.
All right. As you fire the crossbow, you hear the sound of the cable snap. As it does so, it causes you to blink as a start, and the rocky surface from under you, which is made of obsidian and very, very slick, suddenly slips. You fall backwards and are knocked prone suddenly as you loose your latest bolt, which flies into the air.
Wonderful.
All right,
Do
you
I
gain the
land
prone
him?
condition.
Yep. Prone. There we go. Drop it on Cecilia. Awesome. Next up is Pelodi and Marvolo.
Okay, hell yeah. All right, so I'm just checking something real quick. Interesting. Okay, cool. I do not increase that. Okay, good. So, Malvolo is going to look around and seeing the worm as the most immediate and close range threat. Man, I can't. Wait a minute. Malvolo is going to try for something, but he's going to spend 2 actions to get Kalodi to make a full 3 action turn, while he moves over to Cecilia.
Okay.
So that's what Malvolo does. Kalodi then on his with his actions takes one action to move up to the purple worm, or the mirror pride worm, should I say, and will draw out his arm chainsaw, which whirs angrily as he flicks it out of his elbow, and as it sort of flips forward, he looks and he says, "You know, I always wanted to do this." And what he's going to try and do is he's going to try and jump into its mouth.
What?
Ah!
Okay.
And then Malvola's going to yell out, "Kalodi, you idiot! It's just as strong on the inside as it is on the outside!"
Kalodi tries to jump into the creature's maw, which is snapping and biting, and I'm gonna jinx point Kalodi. Kalodi gets into the mouth, but gets snagged and grabbed on the arm, one of the teeth of this creature.
What happened to first round, huh? What happened to that?
Oh, we're still
You're
in the
the
first
one
round.
that reminded him.
Fine, I'll take it. Bring it on.
So you're just grabbed by one of the teeth. So you're like in there. One of his arms got jammed up in between one of the.
Well, then Kalodi, with his second action, is going to detach his arm.
Oh.
And then as he does so, he's going to use his... Wait, which arm was attached? Was it his normal arm or his buzzsaw arm?
Normal arm. I'm not
Okay,
gonna take that
so
away.
with his buzzsaw arm, he's going to try and slide down its throat, and I'm going to make an attack to try and drag the chainsaw down the back of its neck as he's going down.
All right, make it happen.
All right, here we go. Attack. Does that work? Let's try again. 23. No, wait, sorry,
Nope.
that's wrong. No, sorry, let me try that again. Yeah. Because that didn't roll for some reason. There we go. 27 will miss. Oh, come on. Surely it's flat-footed if I'm inside it.
I don't know how that works. I'm gonna say yeah, it'll probably be flat-footed on the inside, so you'll hit on that one.
Yay! All right, 18 damage. And then because it was a move action to jump into it, standard action to attack. I'm gonna make my second attack inside it. I'll add the bonus for the flat-footed. Come on, Kalodi. 25 will miss. So this time as he digs in, it's like just too hard, like the meat isn't being cut as it doesn't quite penetrate.
Oh. And with that, we pick up back with Rain. Rain, now everything has kind of changed around you. And
Yeah, things are different.
yeah.
Not great still. Okay. Seeing him deal with the worm. I'm not going to bother with the worm. I hope that's not the wrong choice. I'm going to decide to move up and face him, pulling that sickle out still. You have to leave her alone. I don't know. It just feels like the right thing to do. We'll go for that first attack.
All right.
I held it over him, but it didn't. Maybe it still ain't. I rolled a
It's me.
19. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to add 19 plus 15.
34.
19, 24.
19 plus 15 is not 24.
34.
34. I know I'm lazy at math, but I know it was higher than 24.
Nope, it's only 24.
I was like, wait a minute here. It's fast math. It's not right math. Okay.
Yeah. I was told to calculate numbers very quickly, not
Yes,
have it
yes.
proper.
There's difference. Does the 34 hit?
On the big dude in the back, yes, that will
Okay,
hit.
then I will roll with dice. I don't have enough d4, so I'm gonna have to roll this. Okay, well, 1d4 plus 1. Okay. All right, that is going to be 7 points of slashing damage on that first one.
Oof. So you kind of like slam into his stony body and you yank off a chunk of his stone.
I'm just going to keep carving away. I am now going to become the stone cutter. And I know that takes multiple attacks. That's how this works. It looks like it's working.
Yeah.
That's a critical miss.
Of
Well,
course it is.
We'll pull that. Actually, can I use my hero?
You can.
I will use my hero. I will use my hero. I will re-roll that sucker. I don't want that. No. I'm going to keep going. It takes 1,000,000 blows to cut through the stone, but we will do it. Okay, it's just a miss. Cool.
At least
Cool.
it's not a
Yeah. Oh, this isn't doing as much as I want. And so for my last action, I will just raise my shield.
Yes.
Bracing myself for the stone barrage to come.
As Rain kind of rushes in, screaming and ripping her scimitar across the stone giant, Scarlet, it is your go. You see your friend has now kind of entered into direct combat. What would you like to do?
I would like to use Sound Burst on Wormy.
Wormy, no. He's so tiny. Sound burst. So you reach in, you kind of generate an energy, and you hurl it over there at Wormy, causing an eruption of sound. It did save, but it's going to take half damage, which kind of sucks. Wow. So the sound kind of erupts and the creature starts to bash its head around. You have one more action. What would you like to do, Scarlet?
I would like to go next to Nexon.
Yep.
Hi.
So you rush up beside Nexon, and now the big guy goes. As he sees Rain launching blow after blow into his guard, he kind of looks around in despair, knowing that his man is just doing terrible. And he is going to cast a spell on Nixon. I mean on
I
sorry,
would like to,
on Rain.
Oh, wait.
Sorry, I made that mistake. Sorry, I said the wrong name.
You pivoted. I'm like, oh, good. I thought that was Selena.
I would like to cast Counterspell.
Okay. I'm sad.
Save me, Nexon. Save me.
We might have
It's a
to
level
all save each other. at this
5.
point.
Yeah.
So
I'll use
counters.
my last level 5.
Counter spell. Do I want this to go off? Is the question. Do I want to counter Nexon's counter? I've done this before and it never works out. Because Nexon's using it, I'm gonna let it fly. So Nexon, you raise your hand, and you see your friend Rain being targeted. This giant's eyes glow with emerald energy, and you see him kind of reach out and try and fire off some magic, and you counter. You reach up and you counter spell. Having that happen, I need to burn this spell slot now. Dang. The ray that he fired kind of shoots out and dissipates midair, like right behind Rain. It looks like it hit a wall, and just like paint splatters everywhere. The arcane energies go left and right. As that happens, he turns his head and raises an eyebrow, looking directly in your direction, Nexon, and he says, "Interesting."
No, Nixon.
That was his 2 actions, and I'm now sad. So he's going to stand because he was in a seated position, and he will stand. So from seated to standing is his last action, because if you're prone, you need an action to stand. Wormy goes. Wormy is going to do the thing that I don't think anyone's ever seen. The creature kind of shakes its head, looks around, and inhales deeply, trying to yank Kolodi down into its gullet. He's going to try and eat Kolodi. I'm not sure how this is. It's going to engulf Kolodi. Let's see how this works. So it's going to make a athletics check, right? Question mark here. Against Kolodi's fortitude save.
Oh, Kolodi's gonna try and go. Oh, well, I was gonna say Kolodi's gonna try and go down regardless.
Oh, nice.
So that would actually.
So
that would succeed anyway. But I'm gonna
Cool.
pretend like it was because I said that.
Got it. Perfect. So Kolodi kind of goes down the gullet and is like sliding down, and Kolodi realizes as he's going down that this creature eats stone and rubble for literally breakfast, and is now going to. So Kolodi, can you please make a reflex save, as its gullet is going to try and mush you.
28.
8 against, I guess it's reflex, right? I'm not 100% sure how gullets work. That is a success, but not a critical success. So you are going to take damage, half damage. 17 points of damage, so half, as Kolodi's kind of getting nommed on the inside. As that is happening on the inside, on the outside, the worm is mad and rears up and is going to try and slam itself down into the group of people in front of it, so into Cecilia. And let's see if that works. Oh, it does hit. So five points of damage to you, Cecilia, as this worm just slams its head into the ground, slamming it into you.
Uh-oh.
Nexon, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna look over at this worm
Mm-hmm.
and why don't you hold your breeches right there? And she's going to pull out another charm and kind of snap it and cast Paralyze on the worm. Oh! So that was a critical failure.
No.
So it's paralyzed for 4 rounds. At the end of each of its turns, it can attempt a will save to reduce the remaining duration.
What? All right.
How do we get Kolodi out?
I'm going to burn a jinx point,
No.
and I'm going
Can I burn my
to.
hero point to burn that jinx point?
Well,
This is like an
well,
Uno
no,
reverse.
Reverse.
Actually, yes, you can. That's if the
Yes.
jinx points can reverse the hero points, but it doesn't stack, so Jared can't actually use another.
Okay.
I got 6 of them, Nexon.
Yeah.
I can do this for 6 times. Okay, so as I was going to burn it, you outburned mine, and you uno'd me, and
All right.
I'm paralyzed. I'm sad.
But this counts as a critical hit for the spell. So Nexon, you do still get a crit card.
3.
1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Interesting. So as you've paralyzed the creature, something strange begins to happen within its body. The mirrored plated armor that covers its body like a natural armor begins to rust and decay, becoming weaker and more fragile. It takes a -2 to its armor class.
Oh.
All right.
As when you're paralyzing it, its natural bodily defenses sort of kick in, and what was otherwise a perfectly smooth and very mirror-like armor starts to have these cracks and fissures appear, and the acid from within that normally would be used to burrow and bore through the earth, like sort of rusts and starts melting the armor that was protecting it.
Oh. Oh.
And I'm gonna run up here with my third action.
Nice. Rain, you've raised your shield and you're just hacking away at this giant. The giant was stumbling around because of Nexon's earlier clumsiness, and the creature is still clumsy, but you could tell it's regaining its senses as the combat continues. Because on each of its turn, it loses a level of clumsy. The creature kind of stumbling back, braces itself from your assault. Taking the moment, it's going to stand at this point. So spend an action, stand, and it's going to try to punch you away from it. You do have your shield raised. Let me make sure to activate that, because I know sometimes I forget to do that. All right, shield is raised. So let's. Oh, swings wide, and you kind
That's
of
a me
roll.
thing, not a rain thing.
Yeah, it kind of roll. You roll. Rain rolls her shoulder as the swing comes in, and you kind of like it just glances off of you. The creature now frustrated is gonna like kick out. It does say fist, but we could just make believe it's trying to kick you away.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That one does hit. It kind of comes in a bit low. You weren't really ready for that.
sure.
And it deals 19 points of damage as it slams. He kicks your shin. That's what happens. Imagine a giant kicking your shin.
Oh, that's a low blow. I'm gonna nurse it a little bit. Ugh.
As Rain kind of roared, it's like, ah! Doing that, what was that from Family Guy? It was like, ah! He does that like that. Cecilia, you have a giant worm on top of you. What would you like to do?
Emerge from it, crawl
Yes.
out.
You like shimmy to the left, get away from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's paralyzed, I'm gonna ignore it and move towards the other two.
Yes.
I don't know how far I can move.
You actually have a lot of speed because of your catness.
Wasn't I? Didn't I? But I was prone. Does that affect how far I can move?
You could stand for a single action and just like haul butt.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go to here.
Yeah, you could get
So
up to next in one shot.
Yeah. So I stood up and I moved. Those are two actions. I've got one more left.
Yeah, one more.
I fire an arrow at Odaduth.
Yes. Oh, the dust. Fire off on him. See what happens. Oh, it's a hit.
Take that, Odaduth. 8 points of damage.
Oh. Firing the crossbow glances into him, and he kind of now makes eye contact, realizing he is in a bad spot as everyone is teaming up. Kalodi, inside this creature, the creature has stopped. Its internal organs are still moving, but the creature and the jostling has all kind of come to a abrupt end. What would you like to do, Kalodi Marvolo?
Okay, so if it's paralyzed, does that mean I can make a coup de grace on it from the inside?
like insta kill it, you could do a lot of damage. It's not going to insta kill.
I mean, is a coup de grace a thing in second ed? I don't know.
It's not, but like the GM could, like, if you have the enemy tied, it's like it has to be an extreme thing. But I'm not gonna like just let you kill my giant worm in one shot.
Michael, Michael, did you say coup de grace?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's French.
Yes, it is. Not coup de grace.
Yeah. Because
really?
coup de grace would be grace is like the body fat.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Oh.
so what was it? It'd be coup de grace.
Yeah. Coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
Voilà.
I think that's the Aussie accent slipping in. Okay. So, if it is paralyzed and unconscious, okay. No, you can't. Damn. Okay, never mind. All right. So I'm gonna hit it 3 times. No, you know what? I'm gonna hit it twice super bad. So that's what I'm gonna do. Claudio's gonna hit it twice. Let's do it. Do I get any bonuses for attacking it while it's paralyzed, or is does it already have the paralyzed condition?
It has the paralyzed condition, but you do get a bonus to that. So you will add a +2 to your. So with a modifier, just add a +2, please.
Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that. Hell no. Hell to the no. I'm not critically missing from inside this goddamn thing.
You slip. You gently slip.
All right. There we go. Much better. All right. I miss with a 30.
30 will hit. The machine is not letting me do things, so but it will hit.
I was gonna say, just no one can touch this worm from here on out.
It's the immortal worm.
It's
All right.
amazing.
Okay, 17 damage, and then with my next hit, Kalodi, why? Why are you like this? Well, I guess I'll roll a natural 1, and have Kalodi fumble inside this goddamn thing, because why the hell not? Alright, so while inside the body of this creature, Kalodi, this is bad. He takes 1d10 points of persistent bleed damage as he digs his way into what he thinks is a juicy sack of worm flesh, but instead is one of the digestive fluid sacs and is covered in this acid that is going to do 1d6 damage per round to him. So he's gonna start by taking 5 damage, and then it's gonna keep dealing damage indefinitely. Huzzah! All right. Malvolo. Malvolo is trying to time this just right.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to do is, with my first action, I want to make a craft check to try and determine if that wall next to the worm is stable.
Sure.
And what I would like to do with that is I would like to maybe use a explodey collodi from inside the worm to try and force it to crash into the wall and have like a rock slide, kind of like maybe land down and have some like large boulders crash into it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'll use my one action to assess the situation.
Mm-hmm.
With a 26.
So, as you kind of look around and you touch the wall, like quickly trying to assess it, and you just happen to touch it, you do realize that was the wall Kalodi set on fire, and then it was quickly iced over when the dryad came into effect. So you had a very hot scenario and then very freezing cold, so it probably did create some kind of brittleness in the wall.
All right. So now I'm gonna explode. He needs to make a reflex save, but he's paralyzed.
Can't do it.
All right.
So he automatically fails the reflex save, or critically fails. As a creature critically fails, Scarlet you kind of have like this weird line of sight on this giant worm, right? Like big worm, always kind of in your peripheral. Its body jerks as you just see a massive red ball just kind of like erupt underneath its skin.
It takes 27 points of damage as there is a massive explosion. How's it looking?
It's rough. The explosion forces the creature upwards, and you can now see it has a massive hole on its side. And that plate that was there erupts out and creates a hole. And I'm going to use the Jinx point. As the explosion rockets and sets it up where the hole in this creature is, remember all that plating on its side? Shrapnel fires all over the field. And Cecilia, Nexon, and Scarlet make a reflex save or take 27 points of damage from
I'm
Cecilia.
sorry. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous for you all.
Ooh, 50. The 31, I'm pretty sure passes. But Kalodi, what do they need?
Oh, to pass mine? Oh, oh god, 20 something.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
She's like, I'm too pretty for this.
27.
27.
27?
Okay.
All right. So, okay. Scarlet passes, and so the Cecilia only taking half damage from the 27 points. So what was that? 27, 13 points of damage.
Yep.
And Nexon, you take all 27 points.
Yep. I
Sorry.
was like, oh, he's paralyzed. I don't need to pay any attention to what's behind me.
Malvolio like
Mistakes were
hides
made.
behind the rune giant, and he's like,
But as the creature kind of like rises up because of the explosion and now the gas leaking from its body, it does slam into that wall and it causes a small fissure. The creature is now prone, also stuck into this wall, and there's a hole for Claudia to get out if Claudia needs to get out.
yeah, Kalodi's gonna sort of slide down the ichor out into the ground in front of it. You know, you can actually see his like armor is like melting. Half of his like face plate is like sort of drooping. As he's like, is that all you got? And that's my turn.
You're gonna get us
I-
killed, is what you're gonna do.
well, look. The purple worm came to us, and I'm somehow now the only one fighting it.
Yeah.
This is what we call
Green,
solo
it is your
Kalodi.
go. Solo.
Clody. Oh man. I'm trying to make the right choice here. None of them seem like the right choice. You know what? Just getting upset and frustrated in this space. Rain is going to put her shield away and her sickle and circle around her, kind of summoning in this cavernous space, almost reaching out to the outside where there was that snow and drawing upon the water. And I'm going to cast Hydraulic Push on this one I have cornered here.
Oh, you can like push him in.
I'm gonna push him into the wall. I'm gonna push him. Just push him a little bit. Maybe a lot of bit. We'll see how lucky we are. A little bit. So it hits.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Take that, Odaduth. 11 points of bludgeoning damage as she just redirects this, being the water bender that she is in this moment.
Please roll another d6 as you slam him and his head cracks into the stone behind him, because you do push him for an additional point of damage. I mean, it was a bad hurt.
Yeah. Kind of like when you're in a car accident, someone bumps you a little bit and your head goes back. It's like, I'm gonna have neck pain for the rest of the week, sort of thing. Yeah. If he wins, he'll at least remember me.
He definitely has a little bit of whiplash that he will chalk up to the angry Alces.
That's fair.
You have one more action. What would you like to do?
Actually, that will be because I put the shield away. That counts as one, right?
No, you were just casting like pew pew pew.
Oh, okay. Just like that. Pew pew pew. After I do the pew pew pew, I am again afraid. We'll then keep my shield up.
Awesome. We move to Scarlet. Scarlet, having just had this giant worm erupt and shrapnel shoot everywhere, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna use I think I want to help out Rain, but she might be too close for the thing I want to do. It might hurt her, so I'm gonna do something else. I'm going to. So he's still Odaduth. He's still Odaduth.
Odaduth. Yeah, Odaduth. He didn't really say his name, so it's your best guess.
Oda.
Okay.
Oda for short.
Oda. Yeah.
Oda-kun. Is he still clumsy?
He is still clumsy. Actually, he has 2 more rounds of that. It's very sad.
Okay, I would like to AT-AT him with my whip.
Oh, so you're gonna try and run up, whip it around his leg, and like pull him down.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Scarlet like rushes forward, whips her whip around his foot, and you will have a +2 for this attack. So you just roll your whip attack and you add 2 to that.
Okay. Oh my boy.
Ooh.
It hits, so that would be a 33. Nice. So you deal damage, you wrapped up his leg, and now you pull, and because of the water that Rain created, it's a little muddy. You would think stone giants would know how to deal with the mud, but he is still clumsy, and you yank him off his feet and he falls prone, shaking the ground. Rain, you like shake a little bit behind your shield, and he falls prone.
Okay. So do I deal damage
Yes, you deal normal damage to him, so just roll damage
on him or in the box?
on him, please. Another 5 points of magical damage as the whip lashed out and left a nasty gash across his leg. All right, so you got him prone, you ran up, you got one more action. What do you want to do? This is all you.
Can I use spiritual weapon?
You can summon your spiritual weapon to the encounter, yes.
And I would like to use my daggers to stab him in the ears where I already stung him.
Oh, it's sad.
This is incredibly painful.
Yeah. It's like, why? As he is prone and clumsy, he's having a hard day. A magical dagger erupts around him, stabbing him in his ear, and it does hit. Wow, that's rough. He's having a very hard day. For another 8 points of damage on the floor, he bellows, "Ah!" as the dagger just slams into where the beast thing was. And Scarlet, that was a mighty turn, knocking him prone. The giant in the back, who is standing there surveying everything, shakes his head and reaches up and grabs the symbol around his neck and activates it. And as he does, a wave of despair comes out from him. So he is going to activate Greater Despair. Within 30 feet of any creature, everyone needs to make a will save, or you will be frightened 1. If you fail, well, it just gets worse.
Celia, you have a +4 because of the witch's charge.
Perfect.
And
Nat 20!
20, nice.
$35.
Oh no, it's just 4 points. It's not a D4.
Oh, it's not rolling a d4. Then it is
Yeah.
37.
there you go. So Rain and Cecilia critically succeed, which is wonderful. You are unaffected. You actually are immune for 24 hours
Oh.
from this despair. While Scarlet and Nexon, yes, Scarlet, you failed, so you are frightened 1, and that's sad. We are all sad for that one. But Nexon, nope, you just failed. So you are also going to be frightened 1. So as long as you're in this area, you can't avoid getting rid of the frightened condition. That's the sad part. As long as you can visibly see him, it's pretty bad. And same thing for Marvolo and Kolodi. You're all scared of him. So everyone now has the frightened 1 condition. And then he is going to literally just hop off his throne because he is higher up. So he's going to hop down and enter into the fray. And he kind of just shakes his head looking at Oda on the ground. My worm goes. My worm is in bad shape because Nexon. Worm can't do anything. It's sad. It's Nexon's go. Nexon, what would you like to do?
Right. So I only have 2 actions. Is that what frightened 1 does?
No, frightened lowers my ability to hit you.
Okay.
So it makes it easier for me to melee people.
Right. Nexon's just going to say, I think you made a horrible mistake, and she's going to snap one of the threads kind of tied around her wrist and cast Agonizing Despair on Varl. Okay. So.
All right.
And he becomes frightened 1.
Oh, rude.
On a success.
All right.
And with my final action, I'm gonna pull out some string and kind of just throw it up and cast shield.
Nice. This poor guy, he's still on the floor. He's having a hard day. He got AT-AT'd. He's going to spend an action untying himself to stand up. And then as he stands, Rain, you don't have the attack of opportunity trait, right? Like you can't
I wish.
So he's gonna stand up, look at his master, And at this point, he's going to try and like steady himself to make it look like he is not clumsy. And he's going to reach down with some of that mud, and he's going to hurl the mud. And here's the thing. He's actually trying to throw mud at you, Rain.
Oh, what?
To blind you. Like, you know, hurl mud all over in your face. He's fighting dirty. He's going to fight dirty. So he's going to try and range attack you.
With mud. The mud fight. Okay.
Yeah.
He hits
So
me.
he hits you with mud. It doesn't do real damage, but it causes blindness. He's just going to blind you
Sure.
with mud.
Ah!
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. It's just a whole handful of giant. Like, imagine a giant just throwing mud all over you.
Just the big handful that he can get.
Yeah. And that's his 3 actions. He easily was able to get mud onto Rain, covered you in mud from head to toe. And that was his hope, was so that he didn't have to worry about it. Cecilia, what would you like to do?
Okay. Remind me, did I get frightened or did I?
No, you and Rain were not even concerned about it.
Perfect. Now that this creature is sort of still clumsy, I'm going to run to the subordinate, using a turn, and then I'm going to take out a short sword and plunge it into his thigh.
No.
Yeah.
Hit.
$14 points of damage.
Oh. So
And then I'm gonna go again unless that did anything of real note.
he is like, now at this point, you, as Cecilia, you slam that blade into his thigh, breaking through his skin, and you could tell, like, as you slam into that, you realize he is in he's really in a bad shape. Like, he is like wobbling. You realize, like, it's not just clumsy, it's also the fact that, like, he's been beaten up pretty badly.
Perfect. Pulling out the short sword out of his thigh, I'm going to sort of yank it a little bit more aggressively than I usually would to get him to topple towards me. And then with the second one, I'm going to arch up and slice his neck.
Ooh.
Oh. Oi.
For another 12 points of damage.
As you slice the blade, you know, he's a big giant, so you kind of like get the biggest shot as you can, and you go right for the artery, and as you do, it sprays blood everywhere, and he looks at you wide-eyed, grasping his neck, and he stumbles, and he kind of slumps to the floor, and as the blood just kind of leaks from his body onto his chest. He's out. You killed him. You guys beat him up.
I mean, I don't know this, but
I want to, so on my way back down, so that was obviously like getting the slice.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the short sword back in and face the big dude. Just
Face the big dude.
make eye contact.
did you get him?
Yes.
It's covered in mud.
So
Oh,
he's like splurting. He's dead.
Oh, I could now. There's like splurting blood and mud on my face. This is great.
And did I get some blood on me too?
yeah, you're fair. You're close enough where it would probably spray you a little bit.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be like this and say, yeah, but at what cost?
What class?
I have white fur, so right now I am a red cat
Yes.
rather than a white one.
All right. Collodi Marvola, what would you two like to do?
Okay. Feeling the sense of despair that just seems to flow out of the giant, Malvolo sits there and looks. He says, I I can't. I don't know. This. So much blood, so much suffering. As he steels himself, he closes his eyes and he says, "Kalodi, it's up to you." I'm gonna use 2 actions to instruct Kalodi to try and finish off the worm. Kalodi again is kind of shaking as his arms like sort of seem to reflect the same fear that Malvolo is feeling as he uses his puppet saw to cut into the worm. Or I
Very
could critical
scared.
miss again. I mean, yeah. So
It's also
Kalodi's
It's a giant worm.
So Kalodi's only got one arm because the other arm is still stuck in his mouth. So
Yeah.
he just shudders and he swings, but he hits stone and rock instead of the creature. He tries to steady his arm as he swings again, and this time as he hits it, you hear this snapping sound as his other arm just breaks and falls to pieces.
Oh, poor Kalodi.
Kalodi is now officially armless.
He's armless.
Malvolo is going to, Kalodi is going to spend an action to do something that he hasn't done in quite a while. He is going to belly flop on the worm,
Okay.
and trigger his snare.
Ooh.
So he needs to. So the worm needs to make a reflex save, but it's paralyzed, I believe.
Can't. Yep. Still paralyzed. Can't.
So he takes 24 slashing damage
Oh my
as
goodness.
Kalodi's central body triggers his impact trap that just sends spears like out of his central body.
As this is rough. As those blades come out and slam into this poor creature, the creature like starts to scream in pain. And as that, you notice that the giant Barrel who has stepped down and joined you looks hurt or like almost taken back by what has just happened here, and seems to be like concerned about this creature that is crying in pain.
All right, and then with my movement, I'm just gonna move behind this rune giant here, and that is my turn.
Oh. Cool. Rain, it's your go. You're covered in mud, head to toe, some blood. What would you like to do? Wipe it off?
Yeah, I'd like to become unblinded.
Yeah, you just wipe it off.
You're just kind of smearing it across. Oh,
Mhm.
that was a cheap hit. Come on. But I'm going to take the mud that he threw at me and I'd like to return fire, trying to blind him. It seems only fair. So I'm going to take that mud and I'm going to try to throw it back at him.
As you kind of like scrape the mud off your face and you're ready to like throw it into his face, you realize the creature is holding his neck slumped over, and blood is just gushing out of the wound in his neck. Oduth is down currently, but Barl is behind you, like literally right behind you, like hovering over you.
Yeah, he's the one I want to target.
There you go. So
'Cause he was the one. I thought he was the one that threw mud at me, right?
no, it was Oduth. Oduth was
Oduth,
just the worm wrangler.
My
He
bad,
just
my
wanted to
bad.
live his life.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that guy die.
Don't put it like that, Jared.
I'm sorry. That was his life goal. He just wanted to be a worm wrangler.
We
Oh,
the
so-
bad guys.
So he did. So he did. All right, Barl. Barl
Barl,
Breakbone is who I'd like to throw my mud at.
Awesome.
We just roll to hit with anything.
To ranged attack.
Ranged attack. Got it. That'll be under my main.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna use my weapons, but
Yeah. You could just
all
use
my
like your
weapons are-
dagger, like if your
Okay.
dagger has a ranged attack. Yeah.
I mean it doesn't.
Oh.
I don't have a weapon that has a ranged attack. Maybe my produce flame has one. Yeah, there's a ranged attack. There we go.
There it is.
There, that'll work. Oh, okay, that's a miss. You're just throwing it right at his feet instead.
You throw it and
Fine.
it like slaps him like on the face, and you're just like he just like reaches up and like wipes it away and scowls at you.
I'm just going to run up to him then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to take a step, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
Running really far. I'm going to run up and I'm going to attack him with my last action then.
Nice.
Please do something. No, not again. Okay, well, I'm just really flustered by this moment. Not able to do anything that I wanted to do, but now he's fully in my focus. That will be my
Yes.
turn.
Scarlet, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try beasting again on Ball.
Mm-hmm. All right. Reaching out with that magical energy, you summon the bees. All the bees, and let's see what happens. He failed. So the bee stings sting him, and he is upset. He is raging as the stings just reach out and just slam into him, dealing 2 points of damage. But there's like a hornet just like stinging him in the neck. It's being very aggressive. You have 2 more actions. What would you like to do?
I like to do another chilling darkness.
Chilling darkness. All right, he is chilling darkness. All right, let's see if it works. That one misses, sadly, just slightly off, as the darkness kind of comes around him and he just waves it away with his hands. So you kind of like launch both of your spells at that point, and you could feel like a little bit of drain. Would you like to move or stay where you are?
I'm gonna move just in between Cecilia and my boy Oded.
Oh. Moving back, it is now my creature's go. Barl is going to do a thing, and I'm going to look at Michael, and I'm going to say, Michael, please burn all of my jinx points.
Whoa.
As
Oh shit.
I take all my jinx points, and normally this would have taken me many actions to do. He's going to stride back his throne, looks Cecilia in the eye, and says, join me or fall with them. And as he does that, he slams his hands on his throne, and on the ground underneath you, the rune, a massive the rune that you bear grows out from underneath you and fills the whole area. As that happens, the rune giants that were mummified all start to move and shake, and you could see the stone coming off of their body, and he is forcing them back into enslavement, summoning them from their eternal sleep.
Do I feel like I'm trapped in the rune, or can I move?
You could move, but it kind of like melted out, like he's pulling it out of your body. He is separating you from this energy.
Okay.
And that will be his full turn, as I burnt all my jinx points to bring the rune giants back from reality. You know what, AJ, can you roll me a 2d6.
Yeah.
And if you re-roll ones, please. Okay. 9. You guys have to figure out what to do in about 9 turns, or this becomes apocalyptic.
What?
Yeah, rune giants are no joke. Like they were the things that Thessalonians used to conquer the universe.
Cool. Counterspell Nexon, quick!
15 minutes.
I have an idea.
Okay.
All right, my sad worm is sad. He's the poor worm. It's taking a lot of damage. This worm's just laying there like bleeding out. And it can't save. That's the worst part. Like it can, but it can never roll high enough to beat next and save. So it's stuck for a minute. And I know that. Like I know the numbers. I would have to roll like a 20, and that's a failure. Nexon, it is your go.
So yeah, Nexon seeing this is just going to like madly start pulling out her little charms and stuff like that. And just go, oh hell no. And I'm going to attempt to cast Dispel Magic on it.
Interesting. Okay. Let me give me one moment to figure out how this works. So, Nexon, as you reach out with your energies to dispel the magic, right? You see that the creature is kind of fun, like using the chair as its source. Like the chair seems to be giving this creature a lot more energy. 1 second, just double checking how this works. You unravel the make a counteract check against the target. Okay. So you can make a counteract check. So it's you roll your spell against this.
It's not letting me roll. Come on. Yeah, it's for some reason not letting me roll it.
So you just roll your like 2 hit. So roll your spell 2 hit.
Okay. Is that on my sheet?
On your actions page, there should be a place where it's like class expertise.
Yeah.
If you hit the little magnifying glass there, it should do a drop-down menu, and there should be a spell roll. No?
No.
Sorry.
One second. Presuming you're at this level,
I see it right here. You have a plus 15. I see it.
Okay.
So in the modifier thing, you could just add plus 15 and roll a d20, and that'll probably be the faster.
Okay. 21.
Sadly, that is not high enough to counteract this. The dispel magic activates, and as that does, around you, some of the magic starts to shake off of you, and you start to push it away, and he just looks you, Rain, this beast on a throne, looks you, stares at you, and its eyes flare again with that green emerald energy, and he just smiles. A wicked smile crosses his face, and he just like laughs slightly. As you do that, Cecilia, you have like it gives you a little bit of pain in your head. You get a little head pain. Not a lot, not damaging, but it's like a little bit of a headache. Dawn, what would you like to do? You still got 2 more actions.
I think
Or
just one.
One more, yes.
Yeah. Boop. I'm gonna shout out to Cecilia, fate's on our side, and give her a nudge fate. We gotta
you.
break this spell out somehow.
And with that, Cecilia, you feel empowered to go, as it is your turn. Now it is your turn.
I feel like there's a butt in there somewhere.
Yeah. Roll a d4, please.
My lord. 2.
2. Okay. As that happens, as the dispel magic happens, and you had that headache, you were able to kind of like pull it back into your body, the rune that
Okay.
was on you and that was yanked out, and you were able to like pull it back in slightly, and you looked up as that happened, Nexon, now seeing like how everything's happening, and you see Cecilia just kind of like focusing. You notice that 2 of the rune giants that were moving kind of stopped moving at that point, and they kind of freeze back up into position.
Okay. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it semi requires rain, so I'm going to launch myself
Mm-hmm.
at the chair.
Okay.
If Becca will lend me a hand and like help throw me, I
Mhm.
want to use my last 2 remaining hero points
Mm-hmm.
to slam my short sword down to destroy the chair beneath the guy.
Okay.
Yes. I'm all in on that. I will do everything to help.
Can we do that?
Okay. So,
So, if I may,
yeah.
the way I'd work that is that Rain and Cecilia would need to burn a hero point for that. Just one. One for Rain to act out of turn, and one for Cecilia to perform the maneuver.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll agree to that one.
I
figured
spend it.
like since you used 3 jinx points to bring the creatures back,
Rune
that
giants.
if we used 3 hero points, we could send them back to where they came.
Balances it out.
Yes.
I see what you're trying to do. You're balancing the scales on me. Yes. So I will accept all the jinx points you give. And Cecilia, you get like this running start, right? So you have this
Mhm.
running start, like $6 million man, just do or $6 million woman, just dun 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 dun. And you come right at Rain, and Rain doesn't even like hesitate, and she just does like kind of like what was it, dancing, what the dirty dancing, where
Yeah, I get ready to
launches
lift her
yourself up, and you pick her up by the waist and you hurl her like over your head, like a bad dirty dancing impression, and head over heels Cecilia flies through the air, coming with that blade, and she slams it into Ball's hand, jamming it into the chair. And you just look at him with malice and just defiance. You have become defiance, and you're like, not today, Satan. And you twist, and as you do, you break your blade, making sure he knows like this is not going to happen. As that happens, he roars in rage, and he reaches out and he puts his massive hand over your head, and he says, I might have failed this time, but I'm not going to fail my masters. And with that, you feel so proud of everything you've done to this very moment. Just you whelm with pride. As this creature sitting on the throne, he starts to crumble and starts to like actually like implode. Like he just starts to crumble down and implode in himself. And as he's doing that, his hand is still on your head, and he just smiles, and you just feel so proud of everything you've done. It doesn't matter. And all these suckers out here, they're just schmucks. They don't even know how awesome you are. And you know You should be the one to lead this group. You should be the one to lead the Roonies. You know what? Not even that. You should be the one to lead everyone because you know what's best for everyone. It doesn't matter what they think. You know who you are. You've conquered a vampire. You've conquered an ancient vampire. You got pulled through time. Who else but you is better than everyone else? And you feel that pride going into your body, and you know, like, yeah, you don't have to be as destructive. Like, you could be a queen, and you'll just be like, they'll know, like, you're already a queen. They know you're the best. You're beautiful. You're white fur, and why not just unleash these giants? Why not control them? You have the power. You know you can do it. Cecilia,
Yeah.
can you please make a will save for me?
Do I become the BBEG? What? And I have no no hero coins anymore.
You do have a nudge fate.
Oh,
If that makes
24.
24.
Nudge the fate.
25 with the nudge fate pushes it just high enough over the
Oh,
thing, and you feel that whelming sense of pride. You should be the one. And then there's a voice in the back of your head. Whose voice is it, Cecilia? And what does it tell you?
It's Rain's. From the moment in the forest about leaning on each other, about being a team, and about asking for help if I need it. So I immediately look back to Rain and give her the signal that I'm not in control.
That knowing glance, Rain realizes it and will be prepared to do anything to help her.
Cecilia, you turn to the group standing on this throne. The giant has crumbled and basically inverted into a hard lump of coal, possibly even a diamond. And you look out, and as you do, her eyes are that emerald glow. Her body is starting to become hard like stone. And she looks at the group, and she's not becoming a statue, but she is taking on the essence of that stone giant. The rune of pride is now emblazoned on her chest. It glows through her armor, and you can see it. Struggling to maintain control, having that voice of Rain in your head, Cecilia, what would you like to kind of push through to the party? To how do you need help from them?
I think that I look to each of them and I hold out my hands, not in a defense stance, not in a I'm gonna hurt you stance, but in a I need you to ground me right now.
Malvolo can be kind of seen by Cecilia yelling something. It's the voice kind of is muffled by the sounds of, like, you know, just the thrumming of magic in the air, as he yells out to everyone to join hands and link up with Cecilia.
Rain runs in. That moment that she had made eye contact with Cecilia, just barreling through these rocks and boulders to get to her, almost kind of flying, her feet just gracing it to get to her friend. I know we're supposed to hold hands. I hear the call, but I end up in a full embrace, just trying to almost bury her into this hug, giving her as much as I can this sense of full surrounding, and allowing, as I tower over her, my head to fall on her shoulder, my hair to cover her face, and to hold her as closely and as tightly as I can.
I share the pride with you, so that not one person is incredibly proud, but that each of us is slightly. And maybe that will do it.
Nexon's gonna run up and kind of grab a free hand, kind of tucking in around Rain's embrace, and just say, we were brought together for a reason, and I don't think it's time to go. We're here for you, as you've been here for us.
Malvolo and Collodi simultaneously run up, and almost like at the same time, with the arms stretched out, like wrap. And between the two of them, they're big enough to wrap around both Rain and Cecilia as they pull in close. Malvolo looking and saying, "We have all gone through so many things. And until you came, my confidence was shattered. You, all of you, have taught me how to take pride in what I do. No matter how unexpected," he says, looking at Collodi, "the results might be." And Collodi says, "Yeah, we ain't letting this happen, not again. We couldn't do anything before, but that's 'cause we let the others take that burden. And we're here to share the load." And he basically, you see all of the both of them just sort of tighten up.
Cecilia looks at Scarlet.
I'm gonna approach and say, where I come from, there is a saying that says, "Qui aime bien châtie bien," which means who loves well enough, chastises well enough. It's basically a definition of tough love. And I don't think I need to say anymore. And I'm gonna join the embrace.
As the Roonies come together, the giants stop their movement. At this point, many of them seem to have started to flare to life, and now they all look at the party coming together, and the shaking that you were once dealing with before starts to erupt again, and the ground starts to shake, and there's a roar as you realize the worm has come back to life. As the worm rises up, the pride worm rises up, it slams itself down into the group. As it's coming down with its mouth open, a voice is heard, an ethereal voice, and it says, "You are loved." And then darkness. And then you feel the cold ground of snow beneath your feet. And that's where we'll end it. I hope everyone had fun. I had a blast. I appreciate everyone being here. I apologize to my Australian friends for going a bit longer than normal. But this was our stream. Cecilia, AJ, it was a pleasure Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Did we die?
No.
No.
I don't
Say-
know.
By whoever sent us, I'm assuming. By whoever's behind this.
There is
Seems someone is on our side.
Something's on our side and just took us via Purple Worm back outside the temple, I'm assuming. Yeah.
yeah,
Last minute save.
Okay, good.
last minute save.
Oh,
It is always a pleasure to get to play with everyone. And AJ, it's only been a few months, and I'm so grateful and honored to have gotten to play with you. It's a blessing, and I hope you're not a stranger and you come around more often.
Yeah.
And
Well, hopefully I'll be back in 3 weeks.
I hope so too. I know you're putting a lot and you're doing a lot, and it's going to be amazing. And your channel is, congratulations on everything. And we just don't want to overwhelm you, so we'll give you a
Fine.
free. If you want to come back, you can. If you're going to take your time and make guest appearances, we'll have that too, because it is a pleasure. And thank you so much for being here. But that is enough for me rambling. I'll give the floor. And normally I end my days with Dawn because it's fun. But
Oh.
tonight I would love to
So-
end with Cecilia
Oh,
and
so,
AJ.
so super quick, just before we go to the outros, what I would love to see everyone do, as this is of course not only the end of the session and the last game of Rise of the Runelords that we'll be playing this year, but also the end of book 3 of our 6-book adventure. I would love if we could share our favorite moment from this chapter of the adventure, this part of the book, as it were.
This ending. This ending. Yeah, this whole the whole, we were talking about it before we started stream, that this whole book has been about the progression of the characters, and literally in the last 4 episodes we've been dealing with Cecilia opening up and letting her friends help and having that be the solution, and having the whatever relationship Scarlet has with Cecilia, and Rain and Nexon and Malvolo and Clody. It's just so beautiful. Just so, I was crying, everyone else was crying. It was lovely.
I wasn't crying, you were crying.
You were crying.
You were crying. We saw it. We saw it. It's proof. It's recorded.
I think at the moment I said I turned to look at Rain, I watched all of your faces and I
Yeah.
watched all of you be like,
Yeah.
Because there was
I'm
that
just gonna
scene
tack on.
outside. There was that scene outside the Yeti cave, where it was the two of you as well, where there was that connection while, after Cecilia had turned as well. So that strong friendship there was just so awesome to see at the end as well. Like that was just so incredible. Yay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna tack on that one because I really do love this ending. It was a really good moment in which everyone got to have a scene and interaction with one another. And while we have a lot that feel very good and individual, this is one that felt very collaborative into, I mean, to put it in a cheesy way that I feel doesn't really reflect it, but it's a group hug, right? It was a very it was a very wonderful group hug, but it was one of those moments where it exemplifies how far along we've come in this journey and how close we are, even now physically, in this space with one another, and how it pulls on so much of the reliance that we need in order to survive this.
yeah, totally.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's really interesting too, because for me at least, playing Malvolo from where he began to where he is now, like not just in this book, but like even just in this adventure, Malvolo was because all, as you know, all of the different characters are based on different sins, and my one was Sloth. So me and Becca, we had characters that were very socially awkward, like didn't
Still are.
talk, didn't talk to anyone. Like the only reason we got along was because neither of us wanted to, really get along with anyone. And from Malvolo to go to a point where he's not touching anyone, he's never talking to people, he has a hatred almost of the people around him, to going on this unwilling adventure to eventually get to that point where he has built that trust and that familiarity with everyone, to the point where he feels like he can let his guard down, even when Scarlet hugged Malvolo in that moment, not pushing her away was a moment that Malvolo at least was like, something has changed, something is different. And then at the very end to like sort of come together in that embrace, that was big. And I think it plays a massive testament to not just the caliber of the characters that everyone plays, but also the way that you guys as storytellers, as people, have told this tale of these people who are thrown out of time, out of place, that have almost nothing in common, who have bonded in a way that is just so meaningful. And that ending like really culminated that feeling into just this beautiful scene with everyone. And a purple one.
And a purple one.
More me, no, not like this.
I've really enjoyed just everyone's characters kind of evolving, but especially Malvolo, the scene where he took off his mask, like that. That's the one that keeps coming back as far as like that breaking down barriers. And
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually after that episode, I cried like for like an hour. Like it was just I was so proud of him. Like like when you have your characters that you like as they go on their journeys, I was so proud of Malvolo in that moment.
Gonna make me cry again.
Yeah, because he's been so lonely and so sad, and he represents like so much pain that that I unfortunately do get to see, because I deal with a lot of people who are struggling with social anxieties and stuff like that, and to kind of see him have that breakthrough was like watching a child have that breakthrough, and it was very, very emotional for me. So yeah, thank you.
I'd say that I love every interaction in between characters that feels so raw and so honest and genuine. I don't know how we've achieved that. I'm not so used as you guys to play, but it felt so real and so natural. And the way every one of you just put up with Scarlett, well, except for Cecilia, but being so patient with her, and that allowed her to kind of let go of her facade and show the little kid that is inside her that she pushed away for so long and she never got to experience because of reasons. And that was great.
What about you, Jared? What was your memorable moment from the season?
I mean, as the GM, I get to cheat because I get to have so many of them. Okay, I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound weird. I like having new players, right? But I love my old players, right? So I do miss like the people who have left the stream and stuff like that. But I do like getting new players because it's always fun in the very beginning to see new players kind of hit the water and try and figure out like how to swim. And I know it's awkward, but like this group especially is amazing with somehow building these like bonds by the end of the campaign. It doesn't matter how long the person had been playing. We all cried a little bit. And that's just the bonds everyone built just in the game. And I was like, not to be mean, but like, as I've gone on and done this, I'm sad. I keep losing people I like. And I'm like, I actually get sad. So the one thing I guess I love the most is just the personal interactions we all build. But it has to be like these, like, it's so weird to see like new players jump in, fish out of the water, and then now look at where we are, right? Like freaking AJ made us all cry for no reason. Thank you, AJ. But I mean, it's a testament to like how great you all are. Yeah, second time. it's it's a straight up testament to the amazing role play that is given here, and it's a blessing. So if I had to pick one thing, it's the first game with the new players and introducing them. And I always have hiccups too. Like I'll get off like the first game when bringing in new players, and Michael's like, dude, that was what were you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I was trying to make them like each other. He was like, stop making them they'll figure it out. I was like, I want them to be friends. But yeah, you guys got there, and like Scarlett and Cecilia's characters were a blast. I feel like it was like a big sister, little sister thing going on there, where
Yeah,
like
totally.
you love each other and you still pick on each other, and it's just family. So that's it for me. I'll stop talking. I talked for like 6 hours. I love you guys for listening.
All right. So thank you once again, everyone, for coming and joining us during this awesome book. We're gonna do the outros. We're gonna say our farewells and say where we can find all these people. So let us kick it off, of course, with the ever wonderful and ever indomitable Dawn.
Hey folks, so yeah, when I'm not here playing Nexen with these lovely folks, you can find me over at youtube.com/roll4initiative, where I make videos with my partner Ryan all about tabletop RPGs and our other geeky interests. And you can follow our kind of day-to-day things on Twitter and Instagram at r4iblog.
Hey everyone, I'm Becca Godsey. You can find me here on Twitch at xcausticphoenix, and also tonight on D20 Deathmatch, as we have our season finale as well, starting to wrap up. It'll be wonderful. It'll be different. Something strange may be happening tonight. So it'll be a good time. I'm also over on the Gamers channel for Pink Pixels on Monday, so it's a good time there. And we're streaming Back to Destiny, which I have abandoned for a long time. So it's good though. Halo content is now in Destiny, so it's even better.
Who's on the roster for the fight tomorrow?
Tonight? We've got two wonderful friends, Short Nord and Timotheus the Great.
Nice.
Ooh.
He is great. He's also nice.
So should I go now and then AJ will be last?
Do you want me to be last? Okay.
No, Michael, you wanted Cecilia. You wanted AJ to.
No, just
introduce us.
same order's fine. Same order's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Jared threw a wrench in this.
I got
Once
it.
again,
I got
we
it.
are
Ready?
awkward.
Ready? I got this. So
Awkward turtle.
so
We
yeah,
did
oh
a
man.
javelin too.
So it's super easy. This is what we're gonna do. I'm going to give it over to Ari, and Ari could say where, and then I'll go, and Michael will go, and AJ can say goodbye, because I'm gonna miss you, AJ.
I'm not going.
AJ's not leaving. What are you talking about?
She's leaving right now. Say bye.
We don't know that.
We don't know
Oh,
that
we
yet.
don't know. I don't know anything. I'm gonna stop
Is
talking.
this
All right,
gonna be,
All right, hold on,
is this
hold on,
gonna
wait.
be one of those moments where just leaving the audience on
Yeah,
a cliffhanger?
I mean,
I
Will
was-
AJ return?
Well, I was gonna say, are you kicking AJ out of the game? Like, is that what's
Yes.
happening?
This was nice, but you've made me cry the last
You've
time.
made me the
Yeah,
last
right. Like I
time,
was.
bye.
I thought you were being nice about it. It's like, no, you made me cry twice. Like,
Yeah.
Was
Or
it?
this is a
Times,
subtle
that's
thing,
it.
like, oh, Cecilia didn't make it out actually. Like,
We don't.
what
cry-
are you
I
saying,
apologize.
Jared?
I apologize. All right, fine. AJ goes now.
Okay.
Just keep it in the
You've
same order.
lost your last place.
Yeah.
Just go in order like everyone else now.
I'll go in the same order as usual because I may or may not be back for book 4. Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I make creative content online. I now have a Twitch channel, Winters Tales on Twitch, as well as my YouTube channel where I make world building videos every week for a world that I'm building to host a D&D game next year. I'm very excited. Stay up to date with all the things I'm doing through my socials. I am at Winters Tales Co on every platform, so you can find me there. Where you can see my schedule and all the things that I'm doing, like a 25-day advent calendar release on Twitch, where I've just been streaming every single day.
Awesome. And her channel is amazing. You really go check it out. Okay. So hi, you can find I wanted to show you Bulma. I showed you my cat Jasper and my crocodile skink Spike, and this is my leopard gecko Bulma. Say hi.
Oh, hello.
So
She's a
cute.
very good girl, and she actually, well, all my pets inspired me to create Bean, the little dragon from my webcomics, which you can check out every Monday on Instagram and Webtoon, etc. Hey.
Amazing. And hi guys, my name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. I'm a professional role player and entertainer from Perth, Western Australia, along with the wonderful AJ. Guys, it has been an amazing year. It has been wild that we have had so many different shows and so many different things. We are having next week as our, I think next week. Yes. Next week, so not this week, but next week is going to be our last week of streaming on this exact time. So we're not going to be here for next week for Rise of the Runelords, obviously, but I am going to be doing a special end of year thank you stream. Just wrap up the year, review some like highlights of what had happened, and yeah, just hang out with you guys. So do look out for that. And go check out all these wonderful people, including, of course, our wonderful and amazing GM Jared.
Thank you, Michael. And if you make me cry twice, I kick you off the stream. That is the new rule. So just keep that in mind.
2 times. Third time you're out.
Third time you're out.
What did I do?
No, I love everyone, and thank you so much for being here with us. And you can find me when I'm not here, clearly doing the wrong things and the right things sometimes, on my own channel where we stream Pathfinder 2nd edition stuff, all different like indie RPGs. I just got, I don't know if anyone played Borderlands, like the original Borderlands, but they turned it into a tabletop RPG, and I just picked it up, and I'm super excited because I have a player whose name is Tina, and she will be my tiny Tina, Mistress of Death, in my campaign. So I'm super amped about that. But you can find me on the simple website that we've created, nvngpodcast.com. Go there, check out my stuff. Thank you very much. And back to Michael.
Nice. So again, we're gonna go and raid our friend Careful Cantrip, but before we do, just so everyone knows what is gonna be happening. Again, we're gonna have 3 weeks at least off for Rise of the Runelords before we come back. We obviously have a few different things that may change up the course of who might be playing, what we might be playing. But stay abreast of everything through our Discord channel. We will definitely, absolutely, 100% see AJ again. We will see all these wonderful people again. And we may even have another player. Who knows? We'll find out next year when you guys enjoy it. So have a happy Christmas. Have a safe time. And from us to you, as always, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.
Bye.